good one on tap today, and there's going to be two quarterbacks ready to get it done on the gridiron. It's the Redskins going up against the Cowboys. With that, it's time to hook up with our commentators in the booth as we turn it over to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Thank you, Larry. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Lone Star State and Mammoth AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. Today, rivals square off in the NFC East, and we've got a great matchup between the Washington Redskins and the Dallas Cowboys. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
There's so many times during camp and practice that you get bored as a player doing regular drills. But how about that shed and skate drill right there by the linebacker? You do it each and every day. Get the blocker away and get into the backfield and make a big-time tackle. That's what we just saw.
Play action, it's Taylor. Got a man complete. This is Richard Rodgers. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
And Richard Rodgers makes the grab, and let's face it, it's going to follow him the rest of his career. The Hail Mary he caught to beat the Lions in 2015 in Detroit, pretty memorable play.
Those Lions fans, they just don't like you right now if they heard that.
I didn't mean to bring it up to, pull the Band-Aid off the wound there. I was just trying to praise Richard Rodgers. Yeah, they're going to be mad at me.
On first down, it's Taylor. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Come on, let's go. We got three, fellas. We got three. Ohio.
And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. The gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
But we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. A lot of times, the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
Come on, let's go. What? 9, back round. Wide, get wide. Ohio.
Now Taylor on first down. Got an open man. It's a noon one. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. Now a handoff here to his running back. And a cut to the right and some open field here. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25.
You don't have to be a finished product to show some pretty good glimpses of what could be in this league. And we just saw an example of it on that nice run there. When I looked at him coming out of college, I saw a guy with raw, terrific ability. I couldn't wait to see how it was going to be harnessed and polished up in the NFL. In fact, some people thought he could play a little slot receiver as well as run the football. This guy has the ability to be a big-time player with more seasoning.
On 1st and 10, it's Taylor. And incomplete, a drop there in the middle third of the field. That'll bring up second down. And here's the offense today that hopes to get off to a strong start. Unable to connect on the first down pass play. Now it's second down. And now here's a carry heading left. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. A great effort there. His third touchdown now on the year. And the Cowboys take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive. And this is up and good to make it 7-0 Cowboys. And Murray now, after the touchdown, he'll send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. And on the ground they go with a running back. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
Really strong, effective run there out of a power set or a heavy set. 3 tight ends in the game, and that's tough for a defensive coordinator. They want to spot that lineup coming into the game early so they can get the proper defensive personnel on the field. That's why the coordinator is relying on some of the assistants to tell him what offensive personnel is hitting the field so he can adjust accordingly. They weren't able to stop him on that run.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. Throwing is Newton. Sliding out of the pocket. Wide open receiver, complete. So a little grabbing there, but this time it goes against the offense for holding. Halfback sent in motion.
20.
On second down, here's Newton. And a quick throw here, that's complete. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to third down. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there if he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback has to slide and find open space to throw.
Throwing on third down, Newton. Flush to his right. A bullet throw, but incomplete.
Well, no second guessing the call here. It was third and long, so throwing the football was probably the smart play to try and pick it up. But they don't get it, and now the defense goes off the field feeling pretty good about themselves, gaining some momentum as they force them into a likely punting situation.
Taking it about the 36. 31 yards on the punt there. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Here's the Dallas offense now heading back out onto the field. That last drive, it was a good mix. Run, pass, defense on their toes.
And what really helps out in a big way is when you're doing the run-pass mix and everything's working, that means that they're guessing wrong every time on defense. They think you're going to pass when you run and vice versa. I would continue that, and when they finally draw a bead on you, maybe you mix it up a little bit, a little play action and throw the ball.
And will they maintain that balance? Time to find out.
Let's go!
On second down, here's Taylor. And he's got his man on the out route. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
That was a nice completion on an out route, and those types of plays are the result of arm strength by the quarterback and timing by the receiver.
Here we go!
Now a play fake here on first down. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Kareem Jackson.
And Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively. Not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. And a nice carry there of 15 yards.
Whenever we meet with coaches and they always talk about wanting to establish running the football, it's oftentimes with a good tight end who can control the line of scrimmage and the point of attack, and they're becoming harder to find because the colleges are giving us a whole lot of receiving tight ends, former wide receivers who can run, not necessarily block very well. In this case, though, we saw two tight ends on the field, both of them with the ability to block, and they ran the ball successfully behind that power set.
Offense staying ahead of the chains here, 2nd and 3. And they'll go on the ground. And he'll fight his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. Call it a gain of 3, but not enough to move the sticks. It'll be 3rd and about a foot or 2. Trying a little razzle-dazzle on 3rd and short. And he has the first down before he's tackled at the 5. To throw is Newton. Flushed out right. That's caught at the 2. And he is into the end zone for a Washington touchdown. Austin Hooper, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Redskins are an extra point away from tying this thing up. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 yards with a new rule as he's taken down right at the 20-yard line. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
I know the toss play begins with the guy taking the snap and turning around and tossing it to the runner. But where the real intrigue is, can they seal the edge? Whether it's an offensive tackle or a tight end in the direction they want to run the football. If they do that, that's the result that you get, that type of a gain. If they don't, oftentimes it's not a gain.
3 yards to go here on 2nd down. They go play action with Taylor. He's going to loft one deep left side here. He's got it at the 15. A big play here for Dallas. 58 yards. Well, last drive he threw the pick, but he's not shy. He's going downfield again there.
And you can't be, because if you back off after throwing an interception, your whole game plan just goes right out the window, and it makes things easier for a defense. And you and I both know there's no quarterback in this league that's any good that doesn't throw an interception occasionally, and they usually bounce back in a big way. I've seen guys throw 5 and still find a way to win the game in the end.
They come up in an offset eye. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he takes us down to about the 12 for a gain of 3. Nigel Bradham brings him down.
We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. First level defensive line, second level linebackers, third level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a first level run, and it was stopped by a second level player.
See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down.
Here we go. Let's round. Let's round.
Here's Taylor. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
Slants are so tough to cover because everything happens so fast. But sometimes it happens too fast for the guy catching the ball because all of his movements have to be quick off the line of scrimmage, and then all of a sudden the ball's right on top of you. And maybe he got a little bit ahead of himself there.
Yeah, a lot of times coming in with good pace, and he dropped it. Defense looking to hold serve one last time here on 3rd and 7.
Here we go. Man 38.
Going to give this time to the tailback. And here he'll get it down to the 7. Call it a gain of 5. 4th down now. The offense staying out. They're going to go on 4th and 2.
Let's go. Man 38. Man 38. What's the run? They're running it. Ohio. Here we go. Man 38. Ohio. Let's see it. Flex round. Flex round. Flex round. Flex round. Flex round. Flex round. Quick. Ohio.
They'll try and throw for it with Taylor. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Denzel Perryman. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The Redskins offense now, they head back onto the field. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching it back in the end zone.
It always is punch-counter-punch, isn't it? And which team has the advantage?
Looking for Snead, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Super Bowl 49 hero Malcolm Butler.
Let's face it, we're all going to remember Malcolm Butler from the Super Bowl, the interception that reverberates, the one that denied Seattle back-to-back Super Bowl titles. But he's become a very talented, good player in the league. He's not going to just be remembered for one play.
And into the red zone now, and Charles, they told us offense in the red zone was a focus this week in practice.
A huge priority, and the key was to get points. So you know that all the time during the week they talked about executing, taking care of the football, no big mistakes, make sure they put points on the board and come out of it with that. I think Cameron Hayward's ability to take on blocks, hold the point of attack, and get upfield serves him very, very well. What a nice play there.
Yeah, he can take on blocks because he's built like a block. Possible run anticipation here as the D-line sandwiches together. Nowhere to get away, and down he goes. Taylor is sacked. Rashid Hageman in there to sack him for a loss of 6. And they're going to go soft on the corners. Long, it's Taylor. And this is going to be incomplete.
It's always tough for the guys throwing the football when they think they've got a completion and the ball's almost there, and then someone sneaks a hand or two in and bats it away.
And Murray's kick is up and good. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. So the defense gets the pick. The offense, Charles, they go backwards, but they do get 3 points.
Very happy to get the 3, but you know who's happier? The defensive team on the other side. They shut them down after the turnover.
And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. Now they'll run it on the toss. Oh, nice move. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
You have to love and admire the effort because he almost broke free in the backfield, but you also have to love and admire what the defense did. Swarmed the play and made sure he couldn't get anywhere. A loss of yardage.
A little bit of ground to make up for the offense as they face a 2nd and 11. Now they'll run it on the toss. And a short gain there as he'll get it up only to about the 24. The Super Bowl hero, Malcolm Butler, makes a stop.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on third down.
And it's complete. Hooper. A big third down conversion with a gain of 28. We often, with Cam Newton, talk a lot about his legs. Don't forget about that arm.
He can throw it on a rope. He can loft it. He's got the touch that's been developed throughout his career. But the big part about just watching him throw it, it seems almost effortless.
On first down, it's Newton. He's going to fire one deep left sideline. A 50-50 ball here, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Casey Hayward.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
In not great starting field position here for the offense. After the interception, here's Taylor. Over the middle, Rodgers has it. The completion good for 3, and it's second down. Two minutes remain here in the first half. We're back to Arlington right after this timeout. They come up in an offset eye, and they'll run it here. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be third down.
Well, they held him to a short gain on that one, and it almost felt like on that first run.
And now we're going to get a timeout called by the Redskin defense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Offense faces a third and medium with 6 yards left.
Come on, let's go!
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll take this forward only up. The Redskins looking for another timeout, and they get it. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Out now comes the Cowboys punter, as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. That's taken at around the 40. That'll be a 50-yard punt with 8 on the return. And the Redskins will take possession with a 1st and 10. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. And 2 interceptions thrown here in this first half. You hear it, no matter the sport, they say that great athletes, they can kind of have a short-term memory, but that's easier said than done.
It is easier said than done, but I played with a guy who threw 2 interceptions in the first quarter of a really big game we were playing.
Johnny Unitas?
And no, not quite at that level and not at that age. But I remember
going for the age.
I remember looking over at it, and he was smiling. And I thought, what is he smiling about? It's because he had enough confidence in himself that that was a fluke. And he went out and played pretty well the rest of the day.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. And now a timeout called by the Cowboys defense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. In motion is Austin Hooper. Throwing on third down, Newton. Escaping the pressure right. He may try and run for this. A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks. And the offense moving quickly to the line.
Now that definitely hurts because the mindset is getting a 3 and out there, and they don't get it done. They give up the scramble and a pickup for a first down.
Now Newton. Eluding the pressure right toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done.
We talk about mobility on quarterbacks all the time. Here's where it really pays off. Able to move, evade, and is accurate throwing on the run and picking up a first down.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. And quickly, they get to the line. On second down, here's Newton. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives them a first and goal. And now the passing game here in the second quarter is starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen?
Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. They come out here in the I. Newton now to throw. And that is caught. Touchdown, Washington.
That's one of the better examples of clock management I've seen. Whittled it all the way down just about and still put the ball in the end zone.
Yeah, just a methodical drive and something really to take into the lockers here. After the touchdown, Barth now to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
Defense really showing respect to the deep ball here, playing off the receivers. And this will go as a short gain on what will be... Hey, Charles, give me water. Jeez, Chuck, they cut off the halftime show again. Quicker than anticipated, ready for the start of the second half. That'll be taken in the end zone. And a good return. He's across the 35-yard line, right around the 36. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. They have the lead now. They'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. And now they're in the hurry-up. Here's Newton now on second down. And look at this. Cam Newton intercepted a third time. Picked off by Tony Jefferson. The Cowboys offense now, they head out for their first possession of the second half. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days. Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. Now Taylor to throw on second down. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he is going to lose yardage here. He lost 2 there, and it's third down.
Time to give a little credit here. That was an excellent read by the guys on the defensive side of the ball.
Oh, you're crediting your defense.
Got to credit them on that one because they tried to fool them, right? Tried to trick them. Ran a screen, and they went to it and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
Here's Taylor, and that is incomplete.
I think that's a big-time play there because the slant route is really hard to cover because the timing is so quick. But able to see it, diagnose it, and get to the football, that's why he's able to bat it away.
And Murray's kick is up and good. And the lead is down to 1 now at 14-13. A decent drive there to start the third quarter. They only salvaged 3 out of it, but they do inch a bit closer.
Yeah, still lots of time to go in this one. Take the points, move on, and let your defense try to get the ball back.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Out comes the Redskin offense now as they get set to begin another possession. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Yeah, that wasn't a big run, just a short one there. But guess what? Sometimes you treat it like boxing. You throw that jab out there, and you throw it again, then you come with a big punch later. Maybe they're just trying to set him up.
Trying to lay one up deep. And that one almost intercepted. Far too loose with the football here. Nearly a 4th pick. And it's 3rd down.
Well, an incomplete pass certainly doesn't look like a good play. For the guy throwing it today, as many interceptions he's thrown, he's got to feel a sigh of relief that the ball actually hit the ground. It didn't go in the other direction.
And on 3rd down, the Cowboys bring in an extra defensive back. From the gun on 3rd down, Newton. Flush to his right. And it's complete. Hooper. And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a 1st down.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play there. 2nd down. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
Offense still needing 10 yards. 2nd down. And he motions the wide receiver. To throw on 2nd down is Newton. He gets it here to Peak. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. 7 yards on the play. And that'll bring up a 3rd down. He had time, was able to survey the field and find a soft spot in that zone coverage.
And that's where it gets difficult for a defender, Brandon. You go to your spots on the field that you have to cover. And when the offense finds an area that you're not in, that's where they throw the football.
Newton on 3rd down. Can't find it. He lost the football. It's out. That's picked. There he goes, left side. And this is going to be brought back for a fumble return touchdown by the Cowboys. And a big turning point here in the 2nd half, Charles, after that play.
All you're trying to do is change momentum, flip things around for your team. You're just trying to take the ball away. How about when you take it away and score? That really changes things.
And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. Taylor going to throw. Forced out to his left. And this one incomplete. So they went for the 2. They don't get it. They had the big play on the fumble return. They were looking for the 1-2 punch, but they couldn't get that 2-point conversion.
And I have to wonder, were they scheduled to go ahead and kick the extra point? But after a play like that, you talk about the 1-2 punch, right? It's a momentum play. Go for 2 and really try to capitalize, and that's what they attempted.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. The Redskins offense now, they get set to take over here. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Escaping the pressure right. On the run, he'll let it go deep. Right sideline. Trying to get it to Willie Snead there. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
As a general rule, when you take a deep shot downfield, it's usually a timing pattern. Quarterback in the pocket and looking to hit his receiver downfield. But when he has to move outside of it, timing often gets thrown off. And on that play, that caused the incompletion.
And this one's incomplete. The former Clemson Tiger, Sharon Peak, was the target. And that'll make it 3rd down. Giants trying to avoid stalling out, facing a 3rd and 10. And the wideout in motion. Throwing on 3rd down, Newton. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. Austin Hooper, the tight end, was the intended target. And it's 4th down.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out.
And how about this, a fake? Try to get it to Williams, but it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And the young buck, the rookie, just racked up his first career interception.
And how about the scouting department? They've got to be very happy right now because in NFL parlance, he's a 3rd round. That's big-time scouting right there, and what a great play he just made.
So the D-line's going to spread out. Taylor steps away to his left. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. They find some open field here. And now off to the races down the right side. And a terrific return as he takes this thing all the way down near the 20-yard line. Now the Redskins offense, they get set to go back to work here. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
The evaluation process in today's NFL does not take into account as much bulk as it does speed, and that's what we're seeing with the linebacker position. Those guys that can run, they can play at any spot because they can make plays on the opposite side of the line of scrimmage.
Completes it to Pete. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 12 yards there as they move the chains. And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry-up. Newton on 1st down. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
On any passes in the middle of the field, anyone who's going after the football is going to be conscious that it's probably going to be contested and often physically. Sometimes that leads to drops.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And a pickup of about 4 down inside the 10 to the 8-yard line.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down.
Well, this was just simply excellent defense. On this 3rd down, they had to be alert for the possibility of a pass, but that didn't stop them at all from understanding what was going on when they decided to run the football, and they just swarmed and stopped them for almost no gain.
Oh, and now movement and a whistle, and they may have to rethink their plans on 4th down. Here's Connor Barth for the field goal try. And Barth puts it through. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. So a good snap, good hold, and that one's right down the middle.
Never in doubt. Just the way you used to hit them, Brandon.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. And now here come the Cowboys. And with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see. Do they rely more on the ground game here?
They may have to change things offensively to try and settle things down, not just for the guy throwing the ball, but for the rest of the offensive unit, because their confidence has to be shaken a little bit. And you just wonder, is the backup going to start to warm up a little bit over on the sideline?
And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
First play of the drive. Let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
His hand. He gets the carry. And a good burst there gets him 7 up to midfield. Back now here on EA Sports. And after the play on the ground, that brings up second down here. And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. For 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue.
Not too many more ideal situations at 2nd and 2 in order to try and pick up a first down. They ran it and picked it up.
Together here from the D-line. They'll give it to him right up the gut. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. And in this situation with the lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take. It's a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
Over the middle, Rodgers has it. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. Short of the sticks after that completion, and now it's 3rd down for this offense. They're going to hurry back to the line now.
Let's go! Ohio! Here we go!
Now they'll run it on the toss. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
One of the toughest things for an offensive lineman to learn is the ability to get in space and hit people who are moving targets. And linebackers are not easy ones to hit because they know how to move, juke, and make you miss. And that's exactly what he did on that play. A nice play for the defense.
Here we go! Ohio!
They're going on 4th down. It's Taylor. And he's got a new one. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Quincy Enunwa, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Cowboys will add on to their lead. And that makes it a 9-point game. And Murray now, after the touchdown, he'll send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. And here come the Redskins now. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
And he'll be out of bounds near the 30. 11 yards on the pickup, and it'll be 1st down Redskins. And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run. Now they'll run it on the toss. Trucks through him.
Oh, man, right through him.
Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good 1st down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on 1st down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
Play action. It's Newton. They'll roll him out right. The ball comes out, but this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same.
Now, I have to admit, partner, that I've often thought that I don't like this rule, where the offensive player fumbles the ball, it goes out of bounds, and they get to keep it.
That's just because you're a defensive guy. That's why you don't like it.
Yeah, you're right. It is a slanted view, isn't it?
But this is where, for the offensive team, the sideline is their friend. Usually it's not there for him.
Yeah, exactly right. I actually played for a guy in college. You know what he used to name the sideline? Sammy. Sammy sideline, and use him well.
They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. On first down, it's Newton. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away, incomplete. Now that'll bring up second down.
It's a tried and true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. Offense looking to avoid a 3rd and long. It's 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. And they're going to speed things up here. From the gun on 3rd down, Newton. Complete to the right. This is Garcon. And he's able to get the first here as he's taken down at the 25. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. Offense walks to the line for play number 7 of the drive. Now Newton on first down. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. 18 yards there, and it'll be a 1st and goal. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play. But what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
Ball spotted at the 4. It's 2nd and goal. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. Call it a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal. And they're going to hurry back to the line now. And on the ground they go with the running back. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage back to the 4-yard line. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
Brandon, it's easy to make decisions from right up here where we are, right in the cheap seats, but let's be frank about this one. This isn't even a decision as far as I'm concerned. They have to go for it here. Field goal does you almost no good as time's running out in the game. If you want to win, you have to be aggressive here.
And Barth puts it through. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. All right, so you needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal then maybe not exactly what they wanted, but it's a necessary first step.
Still plenty of time remaining, but you could really use a stop defensively after the kickoff, preferably a 3 and out.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or 2 shy of the 30. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he's going to... And now we're going to get a timeout called by the Redskin defense. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. Got an open man. It's a noon one. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to third down. The Redskins looking for another timeout, and they get it. That's going to leave them with just one remaining here in this fourth quarter. Getting late here in the fourth, and if this team has any chance to win this football game, their defense obviously needs a stop here. They come out here in the eye. Now they'll run it on the toss. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. And a timeout here. Timeout taken, whistles blown. Timeout taken by the receiving team. That will be their third and final stoppage as they'll only have the 2-minute warning now remaining. And here's a big one now. Trying to hold this lead. They're going to go for it here on fourth down. They come up in an offset eye. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he will have the first down as he's brought down up near midfield. Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. So the offense has it first and 10. Now they'll run it on the toss. And good penetration here. He'll get this down only to about the 49-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up third.
Whenever I go to a team's practice facility and watch them work, I love to watch the defensive guys in what they call pursuit drills. The ball goes either towards them or away from them. How fast will they respond? On this play, the defensive end responded better than anyone and made a really nice play.
10 yards to go on third. Taylor to throw. Rolling to his right. On the run, he'll let it go deep. Right sideline. And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a fourth down. Out now comes the Cowboys punter. He'll boot it away from about his 35.
And when all else fails as a defender, when you're not there in the coverage, your best friend is exactly what we saw there. A big play shot taken by the offense. Unfortunately, it ended in a big drop.
And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. So out now come the Redskins. One possession game. Time very much a factor. How does the offense handle this situation?
Well, in a lot of cases, they should be somewhat relaxed. And I know that's counterintuitive because this is a pressure situation. But this is Friday practice every week of the season. You go over this situation, having to go downfield, limited timeouts, got to get out of bounds and keep the drive going and set yourself up. Defensively, you can't just lay back and let them do whatever they want. So it is a cat and mouse deal here. How much pressure will the defense bring? And
they've got his man complete. And he's in for the touchdown, and barring a miracle, the extra point can win this football game.
And now we've got a tie game after that touchdown. And you and I both know what that means. Extra point in this situation, this little time left, takes on some extra emphasis, doesn't it?
It does indeed. Now inside the final minute, can they get it and hold on? And now a timeout called by the Cowboys defense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. And they have got the lead. After the touchdown, Barth now to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. And out now come the Cowboys. So you're right there, but obviously the clock is not your friend. How do you handle this situation?
You're thinking 2 plays. One, to get yourself in position for the second one, whether you're able to get into field goal range or you have to try another deep pass, another Hail Mary. But you're trying to get the first one to a receiver, get out of bounds, and give yourself a chance to set things up for an easier shot at it.
We'll see if they can do it. Might be easier said than done. Back to throw. And he'll go out of bounds across the 35-yard line. 13 yards there on the pickup. And the Cowboys are going to get a first down. They got exactly what they wanted there. Out route, catch, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
And I have to criticize defense here because you know the situation. You want to keep them inbounds and have the clock run. So I'm sitting on the outside portion of the field and not letting them throw an out route. Throw anything inside and I'll make the tackle. An out route? That's not the way you're supposed to play it.
6 man. Check girls, check girls. Let's round. Let's go. Ryan 38.
He's back to throw. Now a desperation throw deep, and that's caught inside the 35. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. And as the 2 teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. And he's not able to come through. This is no good. And that is how this game comes to a close. So a field goal that could have won it went awry. Pretty good distance field goal. It wasn't a chip shot, but still, that one's going to stick with him for a little while, you'd have to think.
It is, and I know that he missed that one, and they walk off the field, and obviously they don't feel great about themselves. They just lost a game. But this is where the proficiency of kickers actually comes back and hurts them because they've gotten so good that we expect them to make just about everything, and we forget that's still a long field goal attempt.
And so much pressure there at the end of the game. It's one of those situations, unfortunately, where you're either the hero or you're the GOAT.
And what you also hope is that you've built up equity with your team by making a whole lot of big kicks before so that the occasional miss doesn't hurt you going forward.
So for the Redskins, they're into the win column now as they move to 1-2 on the young season. And they'll be back home next week to take on the Denver Broncos. Meanwhile, for the Cowboys, they will fall to a similar mark at 1-2. And they'll try to turn it around next week as they head down to San Diego for a matchup with the Chargers. So that's a wrap. For Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. So long, everybody.